Hey super shoppers, in today's video we're going to be talking about the 3 most important things to consider when you're out shopping for super cheap products. And if you're new here, my name is Steve. This is the cheapest channel on YouTube, a place where I go out and find the absolute cheapest products I can and review them to see if they're decent or if they're truly junk. So don't forget to subscribe below and click the bell for notifications. That way you won't miss any of my new videos. Okay, so when we're out shopping, we all love to find deals. Bargain hunting. It's super fun if you know what to look for. And in this case, there are 3 important factors that should go into every purchase. I like to call these 3 things QQP. QQP. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Any Michael Jackson fans out there? Forget it. So look, QQP, what's it mean? The first Q is quality. So when we say quality, we're talking about performance. Sometimes it's not worth it to save the money if that product's gonna fall apart in a week and then you're gonna have to buy another one anyways. The second Q is quantity. When you're out looking for deals, it's super important to make sure that you're comparing apples to apples, meaning the product that you're looking at for that price, make sure you understand the quantity that you're getting. That way you can compare the same number to other deals in the marketplace. And lastly, price. Retailers and manufacturers love to get really creative with their wording when it comes to advertisements. Sometimes just because you think you find a good deal for a great price doesn't always mean it's the best deal out there. So I've got 3 items we're gonna share today. Number 1, paper towels. Number 2, facial tissues. And number 3, duct tape. So we're going to go through the QQP of each of these 3 items to make sure that they are in fact the best deals possible. So again, for the quality, the performance, that's going to be the review portion of this video. So let's start with the quantity and the price for each of these. So let's start with the paper towels. I found these for 59 cents at my local grocery store. So the first thing you want to do is look at the quantity. When it comes to paper towels, it should say right on here somewhere, and it might be blurry, but it will say, first of all, per sheet how many plies there are, meaning how many pieces of material are stuck together. If it's a 1 ply, it's really awful and you're not going to want to buy it. For paper towels and toilet paper, you at least want 2 ply. So when looking at this, I can see that it does say 60 sheets of 2 ply. Perfect. Okay, so now we know you paid 59 cents for 60 sheets. That way you can compare appropriately to other deals, whether it's online or in other stores. Now, for the comparisons for these videos that I do, I look on Amazon. I have Amazon Prime, so I pay free shipping, but it's a great place to shop if you don't go to the store. So that's what all our comparisons are gonna be. So in order to make sure that we're comparing appropriately, we wanna break these 2 deals down per sheet. How much are you gonna pay per paper towel sheet? So for the Bounty, it's $21.99 for 1,144 sheets. And we know that for the generic paper towels, it's 59 cents per 60 sheets, which breaks down to 0.9 cents per sheet. So using that math, if I were to take this product right here and buy the exact same amount as that Bounty deal, 1,144 sheets of the generic right here would only cost you $10.30. So think about that. The difference between these 2 deals for the same quantity is almost an $11 savings. The only other question is, okay, so for an $11 savings, are these products any good? Well, let's go find out right now. So for the paper towels, I was trying to think what's the best way to test this, and I came up with a pretty good way to do it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to compare just the look and feel of the generic paper towel that I bought to the paper towel that I typically buy, which is from Costco. After we look at that, we're going to test the absorbency. I think that's a great way to test paper towels. So we're going to put 1 paper towel face down on the table, and then I'm going to pour a tablespoon of water on top. We're going to watch how quickly the water disperses and gets absorbed into the paper towel, and we'll see how many tablespoons we can put on each paper towel until it's completely soaked. That should give us a good idea of which one is thicker and more absorbent. So we have both paper towels here. The one on the right is the paper towel from Costco, and the one on the left here is the generic one that I bought again for 59 cents. So you can see there's a little bit of a size difference. If we feel this here from Costco, it feels pretty thick, pretty sturdy. And I've used these a lot, and I know that they work really good. We really like these. This generic paper towel feels a lot thinner. It really, I can't see how this could possibly have as much absorbency as the other one. Even though it's bigger, it feels much thinner. And again, these are both 2-ply, so we're buying the same type of product. Okay, so let's get these set up and see how much water they can each absorb. First, we're going to test the paper towel from Costco. Again, we're going to put a tablespoon, 1 tablespoon of water on the middle of this paper towel and see how much of it can absorb. All right, let's give it a few seconds just to see how far to the edges it'll go. All right, we've given it some time here. I think that's as much of the water as this paper towel is going to absorb. And I think a good way to measure this is with a measuring tape, and we'll see how wide that puddle of water is. And it looks like it's about 9.5 inches side to side. So let's compare this to the generic paper towel. Here's the generic paper towel. Same test. We're going to put 1 tablespoon of water right in the middle and see how much it can absorb. So we'll give it the same amount of time, about 30 seconds, and then we'll measure how far across this puddle of water is. So we gave it the same amount of time, and as you can see, 1 tablespoon of water literally took up almost this entire paper towel. So it went all the way to this side, so we'll measure it from that end there, and it's virtually all the way to the other corner, which is just past 11 inches. As you can see from our testing, the Costco brand paper towel was able to absorb more water than the generic brand. So at the end of the day, even though the generic brand was slightly less money than something like the Bounty or another name brand, it doesn't make sense from a cost perspective because you're going to end up using more product for the same amount of work. So keep looking for those great deals out there on paper towels, and I would spend a little bit more on the name brand products. Okay, next up we have the Kleenex branded facial tissues. I found these at Dollar Tree for, guess what? $1. So just a side note real quick for those dollar stores, right? Dollar Tree, 99-cent store, whatever it is, they do carry name brand stuff. And I know a lot of people start thinking, well, what's wrong with it? Well, how can they sell a name brand product for such a little amount of money? And there's a few reasons for this. The biggest reason is that it's overstock, right? The manufacturer or the company that they buy it from has way too many of these products, so they're able to offload some of these to the dollar stores for a lot less money. And if you look at this, this is a single box, so they sell smaller quantities. So for this deal, I was able to find the same exact product just in a larger quantity on Amazon. This is going to be a 12-pack of the same boxes of Kleenex compared to this single box right here. So we know the quality is going to be the same. We're just looking at quantity and price, and which ultimately is less expensive. So I've got the numbers broken down for you right here. If you look at the 12-pack, we want to figure out how much you're paying per sheet. And again, is it 2-ply or 1-ply? You can see on the box right here, this is 85 2-ply sheets. So per sheet for the 12-pack, you're going to be paying 1.1 cents per sheet. If you break down the single box, you're going to be paying the exact same. So in this case, it's totally up to you. If you find something like this at a dollar store, it's going to be the same price as if you bought it in a larger quantity. So I think we all use facial tissues quite often. It may be better off for you to buy the larger quantity online if you can do something like Amazon Prime where there's no shipping. But regardless, we're still going to review these to see if the product itself is good. So let's do that right now. And I was thinking, okay, how do you review facial tissues? How do you review Kleenex? and it came to me. I have the perfect way to test these things. Check it out.
I'll never let go. I promise.
Oh, there you are. That gets me every time. Okay, enough of that. Look, when I evaluate tissues like these, I'm only looking for a couple different things. I need it to be comfortable on my nose. Everybody's been sick and everybody's had a raw nose from blowing your nose too much, which is really uncomfortable and it sucks. So Kleenex as a brand makes a lot of different kinds of facial tissues. Some of them have lotion, some of them have aloe, but those are more and more expensive. Yes, they're great, they're very comfortable, but for this particular product, let's just look at it. It's 2-ply, so it's the same amount of material as some of the others, unless, again, you get the extra thick ones. But it seems soft enough. It feels okay on your skin. I've used a lot of cheap tissues before, and you can really tell that they're cheap. That's not what this feels like. So this regular Kleenex box is good enough. So as long as you can find a great deal, this is an awesome product to buy. All right, moving on. And the last item today we're gonna look at is generic duct tape. I found this also at the Dollar Tree for $1. And the biggest thing to look for when you're looking at duct tape is the length that it's measured in, which is yards. And in this case, it's 10 yards for this $1 duct tape roll. For a comparison, I went online, I looked at Amazon, and the next least expensive roll of duct tape was made by Gorilla Tape. And you can see up here in the corner, I've got the math breakdown. This is $4.84 for 12 yards. And our generic duct tape is $1 for 10 yards. So let's figure out how much it's gonna be per yard. So the Gorilla Tape breaks down to 40.3 cents per yard. And this stuff is 10 cents per yard. That's a huge savings. So if you wanted to buy 12 yards of this stuff, it would only cost you $1.20 instead of $4.84. That's a savings of $3.64 for a roll of duct tape. That's significant. So the only question is, does this stuff work? Well, let's go find out. For this one, let's take a look at the physical appearance, how it feels, how thick it is, and then we'll get to a strength test. Okay, so like I said, I've used a lot of duct tape in my day. I've got a piece of this right here. It feels nearly identical to most other duct tape. I don't feel that this is an inferior product by the thickness or the way it feels. I think it should probably work just as good. Maybe even better, who knows. So let's go ahead and do a strength test here, and I'll get it all set up. I'll explain what I'm doing, and then we'll see how it works. Okay, so for the tape strength test, guys, I've looked this up a few times and you may have seen something similar, but it's really simple. You take a table or some kind of surface like this. It has a vinyl covering, so tape sticks to it really well. And then you simply tape down across the table and leave one end hanging over like it is there, and you just tie some weights to it, and you see how much weight it can take before the tape fails. So we're going to do 5 pounds at a time, and we'll see how it holds up to 10 pounds here. So there's 5 pounds right there, and that tape doesn't seem to be moving. Let's go ahead and add another 5 pounds and see what happens. All right, there's 10 pounds hanging off the table right there, and that tape's not going anywhere. I'm pretty confident it could hold more weight. I actually don't have any more little dumbbells here, but so just as a side note, I started pulling the tape off the table and it's still not going anywhere. So check this out. So look at this. I've peeled that tape all the way off and it's basically hanging completely vertical with just about an inch of tape on that table. There, it fell now, but it held for quite a few seconds. So in my opinion, that's strong tape, especially for $1. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful when you're out there shopping for cheap products. Make sure that you look over those 3 important aspects. QQP, quality, quantity, and of course, price. So thanks again. Don't forget to subscribe below, like the videos, comment when you can, and as always, we'll see you next time.